wanted to go out and recruit kids that we thought fit into our scheme. And I've been recruiting to this scheme for a while and kind of have an idea of what fits and what's going to work in the scheme. Miles Jones is going to be a versatile guy for us.
Jones is a triple threat for the Patriots.
I feel like Miles probably one of the best athletes in Florida.
Well, growing up, Miles Jones, he had an older brother, Michael. Michael's 2 years older than he is. They've always competed in whatever it is that they had going on. Basketball, football, drawing, whatever.
Growing up together, we were really competitive. Always outside playing basketball, football, video games, just always arguing and fighting over who's gonna win.
Me and Miles were gonna go somewhere with some friends. So I was at his house for a little while. He asked Michael, do he want to play basketball? So they start playing basketball in the back, and they just start going at it. So I was like, yo, these dudes are some competitors. So just seeing two guys like that, you just know how competitive that family is.
Basketball led to a lot of fights and arguments, but he always tried to beat me, I always try to beat him. It's the biggest thing that made us who we are today.
Unless you played basketball against Miles, then you wouldn't know what type of basketball player he is. I actually think he's a better basketball player than football player. This kid went in for a layup and he went up, you know, it's like he was at the top of the backboard and blocked that shot, man. That was incredible.
And he came up to me telling me, oh, I dunked at practice. I could dunk now and I'm only in 8th grade. And I was like, you can't dunk. I was telling him you can't dunk. He's like, okay. We went outside in the driveway and he dunked in 8th grade. And I was like, all right, you could dunk.
You know, the Jones family, we know his skill set on the basketball court. He has so many plays on the football field. He will score like 5, 6, 7, 8 touchdowns a game.
He has the best vision that I've seen in a kid, that he can start one way and with his center of gravity dropping and cutting back, that's what he done so well.
I've never seen this, but like, got him the ball and then he shook like 3 people and he just went up the sideline. He won us the game by doing that.
Since Miles wasn't on the field, we probably was going to lose.
I don't think he ever lost a game. We won championship after championship all the time.
We always had success because we were like the best team ever in Little League.
It all started in the front yard, 31st Street. Me, Miles, my neighbor, all the kids in the neighborhood just playing and competing.
Yeah, I believe his competitive side comes from playing with us and just playing with older people, you know, so he was always the youngest, and I'm pretty sure a bunch of people doubted him because he was younger. So once he hopped on the court, hopped on the field with us, he came out there and did what he had to do and was ready to play.
Back then I gotta beat him tonight. We'll go out in the yard, play basketball, I gotta win, I gotta win, I gotta win, I gotta win. I gotta prove that I'm better than you.
They just built a special bond throughout the years growing up together.
Me, Miles, and him played basketball together. And we're all on the 31st Street. We're neighbors, so he came up with the name and it just stuck. 31st Street Boys.
I was telling people, hey, you gotta watch this kid named Miles Jones.
I'm watching him do what he did as a kid. Now he's doing that older.
Like, that was pretty amazing for me to watch my friend from when we were so little grow up and like he's still doing what he was doing. So like I knew it was real.
I believe a lot of that just had to do with just his competitive nature. You know, that's the way he grew up.
It was just like he was still playing Little League ball. No, it was like he was still playing against Little League kids. When he can see a hole and he's gonna hit it.
Like, I've always used to talk to him. I always used to say, you're destroying these kids now when you guys are younger, but everybody's gonna get older, bigger, faster, stronger. Don't let them catch up to you. He's still destroying everybody. You can watch his highlight tape and you'll see him. He's running over everybody.
At the end of his freshman year, he broke his ankle.
That time was really I wouldn't say rough, but it was something that he had to learn how to work through.
The sport got taken away from him, so he wanted it back. So he did everything in his power that he had to do to get it back.
Coaches didn't really see what they should have saw in him. Decided to leave to American Heritage.
But we didn't really like his position as far as where he was playing in school, so we transferred him from St. Thomas over to American Heritage. Going into spring ball into his sophomore year, he actually tore his meniscus. So his sophomore year was kind of rough because he didn't get to play much due to the injury. So it was a learning experience for him. He got to sit back and learn the game a little bit more instead of being the big man on campus, I should say.
He was hurt when he came here. When he first got over here, he was hurt. All I was getting was stories about Miles, how he had been this unstoppable player and optimist. And I was like, okay, he's a little bit undersized, but let me, I'm just gonna see. From the day he got here, I can remember Miles coming in. He couldn't do anything with his, with his lower body, but he would come in. He would get the upper body work in. He would get out there. He would do ball drills, whatever he could do, stay in the loop a little bit.
Yeah, he's gonna get it done. He's very hard-headed. He's not gonna listen to anybody. If anybody tell him he can't do it, he's gonna do it. Miles pushes himself very hard. He'll be after school working out, come home, work out, do push-ups. He'll always ask me, Michael, come work out with me. You wanna do push-ups, do this, do that, do that. I'm not an athlete anymore. I'm like, no, I don't, nah, go ahead, that's all you, But
then when Miles finally got cleared, you could see there was a confidence about him. He didn't say a lot because he was, he was the third running back at the time, but Miles was never intimidated. Miles was never intimidated. He had a quiet confidence in himself, and he was just waiting to let everybody see, to see that ability come out.
That's Jones, one man to beat.
He is so talented, he can flip the field and break the hearts of the opponent at any moment. From that point on, I was like, all right, we got something here with Miles.
He did exactly what he told me he was going to do. He was going to go to American Heritage and ball, and that's exactly what he did.
Every time he touched the ball, he knew he could make special stuff happen.
One of the best athletes I've ever seen, honestly. I think he's underrated.
Well, Miles is a competitor, so everything he does, he tries to be the best at it.
He can do it all. Give him the ball, he's going to make a play.
Seems like every time they have another track meet, their relay team is breaking another record. Can't even keep up with the records they're breaking.
I start calling him track man, because he's pretty good with track.
He's one of the most important parts of our relay teams.
Like, that's a kid that's just not going to be denied.
He really made an epic comeback.
One other thing that is being left out with Miles is that he's a very good artist. He draws real well. I think that is oftentimes not mentioned, but he's a very good artist.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know Miles is not just a football player. Before football, Miles was always an artist, gamer, programmer. He does programming now. He's really well-rounded.
It used to amaze me at an early age when I used to see the things he was drawing. I couldn't believe he had the skill.
The first time I noticed Miles' talent in his drawing was our junior year. So I started seeing his sketchbook and all the sketches that he drew, and that's when I noticed that he's a pretty good drawer.
He has the visions in his mind, and then he gets them down on paper. Later I'll see it, and it's like, I would never be able to do that. Like, I draw stick figures, and this man's doing, like, portraits and stuff, and he's really good at, like, origami and stuff, and, like, I just don't understand how he does it.
He's a hard worker. When it comes to that, he's a very hard worker.
He loves culture, so he wanted to be able to go and get different art centers and art museums and all of that stuff. So his attraction to the actual arts itself is something that's special to him. It makes us proud that he can broaden his horizon and do more than just sports.
And he also sings, but you can't get him to sing, but he does sing well.
He's very quiet with that.
Football is like just one of his many layers.
I'm Miles Jones, athlete, American Heritage. I'm committed to the University of Nebraska. Go Big Red.
When Miles committed to Nebraska, it was like a dream come true for him.
He's been working hard all of his life to get to that level, so that made us very proud.
Miles Jones, University of Nebraska.
All these years of all that hard work, and then seeing him just keep working and keep working, battling injuries, switching schools. All the people that say, oh, he's not big enough, he's not tall enough, can't make it in football. And then he just shut them all up, just signed on the dotted line. Now he's gonna be a Cornhusker. It was a great feeling.
Watch the breakdown.